Yo, what is up guys, Fred at Eastgate Unit here. Today we're checking out the VESTAR Osprey. Let's get right into it. So as you can see, opening up the box, there is plenty of padding, which is a great thing. A lot of the UPS and FedEx drivers, they just kind of throw these boxes around, so you want it as padded up as possible. And here she is, the forged carbon fiber VESTAR 2-in-1 board. So let's put the board to the side and see what else the box contains. The first thing you notice is this awesome accessory kit that VESTAR includes with the board. I love that they did this because when I go on rides, I can always just use one of these and carry all my tools, chargers, remotes, belts, all the important stuff you want to take with you on a ride. So inside here you have a 5-amp charger, which is good, built-in fan, extra bearings, bolts, nuts. Here we have 36T ABEC pulleys for a street wheel kit, standard T-tool, remote charger, which is a USB-C, and in the other compartment you have the owner's manual, which is far better than your average owner's manual that you get with your electric skateboard. You also have extra belts. My favorite things about this package is this remote case. I constantly want to keep my remotes protected, whether it's in my backpack on a group ride or in my trunk. So not only are they great because they protect your remote, it also has little hidden compartments to hold your chargers as well. Now I'm really digging this style remote. I think it's really cool that they decided to change up the style and go for a pistol magazine look, and it feels really good in the hands. It has a good lanyard. It also utilizes a USB-C input for a charge. I like this case so much, I'll probably use it with my other remotes as well. Lastly, you got the standard 97 ABEC wheels. Nothing special here. Good durometer, 78A. Not too hard, not too soft. Now let's take a closer look at the board. Let's take a look at the deck. It has a nice W concave that's not too shallow, not too deep, and the W is in the middle, but again, it's not too aggressive. It's about 10 inches in width. The logo does not light up in the middle. If you want to gain access to the actual battery, unscrew these bolts on the side. And on the bottom of the deck, you also have what is called the expandable deck, which basically means if you want to put in a bigger battery, you can, and the deck will expand out further. Now the power button and the charging input are on the top tail end of the board, which I think is very convenient for charging. The board comes with a free bash guard that acts as a tail light and a brake light in the rear, and it helps protect these 6374 3500 watt motors. The board weighs 31.75 pounds, which is pretty good for this battery size. The max load is 265 pounds. VESTAR is utilizing these 7-inch all-terrain tires, which are kind of a hybrid look. A little bit off-road, a little bit street. This is the first board I have that's utilizing an exterior antenna. Here is VESTAR's custom FOC ESC. The bash guards are also protecting the bottom half of the motors as well. VESTAR is utilizing traditional Kingpin trucks. The deck is a forged carbon fiber, 39.3 inches in length. Here is where the integrated LED strips are, and this battery setup is a 13S 4P 748 watt-hour battery. Now let's charge this bad boy up and let's take it for a ride. Okay, so first let's talk about the deck. As I mentioned before, the deck is a little over 39 inches in length. The entire deck is forged carbon fiber, which really shows it off quite well on the underbelly of the deck. On the sides, you could also notice the LED strips. And right where the LED strips actually end, you can notice the actual cracks because that's where the expandable deck comes into play. If you wanted to access your actual battery, you can unscrew the top screws of the deck and then pull out the battery from the bottom belly of the board. So if this was a 13S AP setup, you would notice that the underbelly is quite thicker. As for the shallow drop down and the mellow W concave, in my opinion, it's perfect. It actually locks in my feet very, very well, and it keeps my carves very precise. The VESTAR Osprey is utilizing traditional kingpin trucks. These particular trucks are not exactly my favorite, but that doesn't mean they're bad either. When it comes to trucks and wheels, it really comes down to personal preference. Are they more stable than double kingpin? Sure, but in my opinion, I just think there's a little bit too much pivoting in these traditional kingpin trucks. As for VESTAR's stock 7-inch tires, this is actually the first time I've seen them on a production board. However, Omni eSkate does actually sell these. So if you want to buy these particular tires and put them on your current board, check out Omni eSkate. As for the tires performance, I have zero complaints. It gripped very well. I didn't have any kind of shakes or vibration, which means they come well balanced. And they also have very good tread for off-roading. Check it out. Okay, so this has a breathing tail light, and then if you yank the brakes, it blinks. And same thing on the underglow. It blinks if you yank the brakes. Once you throttle it, it goes in a little bit of a faster breathing mode. Brake, throttle, brake, throttle, throttle, and then the tail light, brake, throttle. Pretty cool, right? As for the remote, I actually really like the remote. It reminds me of a magazine that goes inside of a pistol. It sits in the hand, very nice, and it's very easy to use and has all the data on the screen. It also uses a USB-C input to charge up the remote. I'm in speed mode Pro, which is the highest one, and it's got a lot of giddy up. So 17 miles per hour right now, gun it. Woo! Holy shit, this thing's powerful. Seriously, I didn't act that at all. I'm not kidding. This thing's powerful. I was not expecting that. All right, acceleration test. In Pro mode, full battery. On go. 1, 2, 3, go. Ooh. So, acceleration is good.
Not better than a Haitian, not better than a meepo, but when it picks up, it picks up. I'd probably say it picks up a little bit better than a meepo Hurricane. Whew, this thing's fast. Oh, and in case you ask, is it faster than the Endurance? No, it is not. But again, I think it picks up faster and harder than a meepo Hurricane, than the Haitian, you know, than pretty much any two-wheel drive production out there, except for the Endurance. The Endurance is just an animal, and you can turn that up even more. All right, I got the rider app open, top speed test. The top speed test is going to be up a slight hill. Let off. All right. Wow. This thing's fast. Oh shit. That shit was fast. I don't know if it's because I've been riding slower boards lately, but this thing is wicked fast. 35. 35 with ATs. I don't think I've hit 35 miles per hour with ATs except for the Endurance.
So what I actually did on the Endurance was 34 miles per hour with 7-inch, utilizing 50 AT. If you purchase an Endurance with 7-inch, you actually get 66T, which will be less top speed.
So when you see like, you know, 37 miles per hour for onboard and stuff like that, the Zeus, that's their 120 cloud wheels and their 40T pulleys. That's not AT. Also, those remotes with the hobby wing, in my experience, are all off about 2 miles per hour. So when you think you're doing 37 miles per hour on an onboard Zeus, you're not. You're doing more like 35. And again, that's with the cloud wheels and that's with the 40T pulleys. That is not AT. This is AT. 7-inch. I believe 60T pulleys. So if you want to go even faster, you can put smaller pulleys on there.
And the funny thing is, on the VESTAR website, it says their max speed is 31 miles per hour with all terrain. And I actually did a little bit above 35 miles per hour.
Okay, giant hill test, the same hill I usually do. So I did almost 11 miles. Okay, so I'm gonna save this and restart it. So restarted. See how fast I can get up this hill. Pro mode. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Climbed up there very easy. 28.9 miles per hour, so it's called 29 miles per hour. Very impressive. This thing has lots of power.
Let's do a brake test at 18 miles per hour. All right, 1, 2, 3, brake. Good. Not crazy aggressive and not super soft.
So also with the brakes, you yank the brakes and it stays still. I'm heading a little bit downhill, and again, it won't move. It locks in, which is good. Some people will appreciate that.
As for range, I'm a 155-pound rider, and the temperature was about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. I've reached 27.2 miles of range on the stock all-terrain setup. Now, keep in mind, this is the 13S 4P setup, not the 13S AP setup. So if you want more range, you can actually go with the 13S AP setup. And also, I did a lot of off-roading, and I carve a lot, so that will deplete your range. As for final thought, let's talk about the elephant in the room with VESTAR really copying Evolve's kind of look. I mean, let's be honest, are we surprised? There's been dozens of companies that have been copying Evolve for years now. It's not that big of a deal. Would I have liked them to create their own kind of ideas and design? Of course. But what's most important is what you value as a customer. The Evolve has more features such as the military grade remote that has the internal diagnostic system inside for your internal cells on your board. The lights actually can be adjusted and have way more features inside the remote, so you can actually switch what kind of program of lights you want inside the remote. And it also has a light going through the emblem in the center on the Evolve. The Evolve's customer service is one of the best with worldwide customer service and retail shops. The Evolve also has better acceleration off the line. And their website also provides a board builder feature that you can put on different color wheels, change the street, 32T, 38T, 47T, 66T. In my personal opinion, the more options you give to a customer, the better. We are spending a lot of money as customers, and to be able to actually customize it the way you want to is a very big deal to me. You can also customize the board's performance and have the cell diagnostics inside your phone. And with that app, you can actually update your board so the board is always up to date with its latest software. But the VESTAR has more top speed, has more range due to its bigger battery. It comes with a free bash guard that also acts as a tail light and a brake light. And the VESTAR is $690 less. Now, is that $690 worth it to you or not? That's really up to you to decide as a customer. Some riders prefer traditional kingpin over double kingpin. Some riders prefer double king over traditional kingpin. I personally love both. Sometimes I'm in the mood for traditional kingpin, sometimes I'm in the mood for double kingpin. I will say this though, it's pretty funny how they went the extra mile and actually copied the Evolve Haitian hub as well. So for $1,600, I think this is a great bang for buck. So if you're that customer that wanted that Evolve carbon fiber Haitian look, but really couldn't afford that $2,200 mark, this is a great alternative. With its internal lights and its power, its speed, its range, its stability, it's such a good bang for buck 2-in-1 board. If you're thinking about the carbon fiber Zeus Pro or the carbon fiber meepo Hurricane and you still want good performance and good range, but yet you want those lights like the Haitian has, but not the price tag, this is definitely the way to go. Thank you for watching, guys. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Have a good one, guys.